Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. And in the last episode, guys, we watched as the Sidereal Horizon took off toward its destination. However, we were not on board. We made the decision that we were not going to be a burden to Lemon Mina. We gave them the passes that allowed them to get on board, and we kind of went our separate directions. Just because we know that the fact that the Sleeper's body is going to start breaking down, and it just would have been too much of a problem for Lemon Mina to have to keep up with, and they're trying to have their own lives, you know? So we decided to stay here on the Eye, but there's still plenty to do. We've got Riko's grow beds will be done here in 3 cycles. Bliss will have another job for us soon. And we decided to head over here to the refugee flotilla and talk to Eshe and Pike about what exactly they need us to do. So the flotilla needs food, water, and components. We need scrap for the flotilla as well. So, interesting. Now, we have some new areas that have opened up to us. We've got the algae stack. Negotiate access. The algae stack is controlled by a small collective of farmers. If you want to use it, you'll need to persuade them. Much to Eshe's frustration, you'll have to pay or talk your way into using the algae stack to farm food for the refugees. Okay, that's fine. And then we have Reservoir S3, water storage and processing. Haven Age have installed a complex sensor array to monitor the reservoir. Trip this and the whole place will go into lockdown. Water for the flotilla. Eshe needs tanks and tanks of water if she hopes to help the flotilla. Anything less is worthless to her. The reservoir is monitored by a web of sensors. Hacking them will reduce the alert level on the system and keep you from getting locked out. Oh, it's like a balancing act. Interesting. Okay, well, it says that they need scrap components as well. Do we want to focus on getting scrap components? Do we only need... a lot of ships? Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of, like, little ships tagging along. Huh. Well, so I guess maybe getting the 8... There's a lot to do here. Did that freighter go ahead and dock? The one that usually has access to... Okay, it'll arrive here in 2 cycles, which gives us at least a little bit of time. I don't think there's any other way to get scrap. No, I don't think there is. Okay. Let's see what happens here. That's one. Should we just go ahead and use all of our... to start gathering scrap? We may as well. This will definitely be the big issue that we need to come to. Okay, there's 3 pieces of scrap. This is going to be one of those situations where I really hope we don't get chip mine components. Wish we could just give them money. Alright. Well, let us go ahead and... I'm always going to make things a little bit more difficult for myself just because of that cat. Just like in real life. Get some tasty fungus soup. We're keeping the economy alive in crackers. That's how I'm tending to see it. Okay, not ideal in terms of dice. Let's head up. Okay, Bliss will be ready in 2 turns. Or 2 days, rather. As will Riko. Ooh. Interesting. Now, if we go over here, all the supplies in the world are nothing without a plan to get them to the flotilla. That's PK's part in all of this. Alright. We are under the gun here. Oh wait. No, that's wrong location. Let's go to the algae stacks first. And we'll get access to it here by doing a little bit of negotiation. I think we're going to have to just kind of spam things, like have this be a focus of a day, depending on our dice rolls. Come on, come on. Dope. One more time. There we go. Reroll to 2. Blah. And now we have accelerated growth, good, with intuition. And food for the flotilla 2. Wow. Okay, so we have to grow the food first and then harvest it. That's crazy. All right. We got some time here, but it's going to be we're going to be pretty close to the mark, I figure. Well, is this a safe option? No, it's dangerous. Very dangerous. But we've got the +2 intuition. We may as well give her a go. Okay, good. You managed to perfect a phosphorus-rich feed cocktail that massively boosts the algae's growth rate. The other farmers are impressed. Cool. Alright, I think we can go ahead and go to sleep with just the 1 energy down. I don't think that's going to cause too much of an issue. We definitely need to make sure that we keep all of our dice, so if we have to use another stabilizer, so be it. We should be able to harvest 1 more club head cap here in the aviary here soon. First thing we'll do is head to the freighter at the beginning of the next day. Well, hold on. Let me go to emphasis Ort exchange. Input scrap components. Well, it's worth a shot. Here, kitty kitty. And good. Just got a little rumble in the tummy is all. Oh, it's gonna be a good day. Cool. I'll tell you what, just so we don't get into an issue, let's go ahead and have some breakfast for once. Go ahead and feed the stray. And our freighter has arrived. Let's see what's up. Scrap, scrap, scrap. Good. Well, we're definitely getting all the scrap taken care of today. Those are some good rolls. And probably a ship mine component to finish it off. Yep. Still, that is not bad. I love it they show up to do their business and then we just go ahead and buy out their cargo. Well, I guess it's shore leave for the moment, boys. Okay, everything good everywhere else? Yes? Okay. And was it 8? We've got 5. So let's go ahead and use our 5s here. All the scraps. Be up to our armpits in scraps. And 8 components. Plus for Briar's Hold. Okay. Action unavailable. That's it. These components should be enough to cover most of the basic repairs the flotilla needs. You hope. You look over the pile of scrap components lying in the Briar. You look around. The bay is empty. Eshe and PK either elsewhere on the station or on the bridge a couple of levels up. You begin sorting through the pile, separating out useful components and boxing them by use. You don't recognize everything you find, but before long you start to get into the rhythm of sorting. As you do, your mind starts to drift, your attention being drawn into the dark corners of the bay. The Briar is in surprisingly good condition, considering that Hawthorne and XPR must have been operating it for decades by now. The marks of care are everywhere, from the delicate patch jobs, polished to meld into the original finish, or the carefully bound wiring running through custom trunking. Eshe loves this ship. That much is clear. Something catches your eye in one of the dark corners, a matte black stack of crates you hadn't spotted before. They're sleek and compact, tucked away behind some of the bigger, more worn containers. Guess we should investigate. You put the components away and go over to the sleek crates. You run your hands across their textured surface, but there's little hint of what lies inside the opaque metallic casing. Then you see it. A yellow symbol, embossed onto the far side of the crate, a universal sigil used by spacers, corporations, and manufacturers alike. It's one you've seen throughout your times as Sleeper. Its meaning all too familiar. Explosive contents. You hear a hiss and Eshe comes up through the bay's lock. She barely registers your presence, nodding at you as she passes. Sleeper? She busies herself with some task at the back of the bay. Ooh. I don't know if Eshe's the person we need to ask about this. Let's go ahead and finish the job. With Eshe in the bay as well, the atmosphere shifts, and you suddenly feel watched. You quickly finish up the sorting and slip out, waving goodbye to her back as you do. Yeah. So I'm wondering... Okay, that area is done. Cool. So where is... Oh, crap, there's PK over here. Cautious spacer. Sleeper! PK catches your attention from the shadowy corner they were leaning against. Any trouble getting up here? None. Good to hear. Come, take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Haven Age cordon. The cordon's temporary structures, a net of metal struts meant to detect and dissuade any ships from entering or leaving the flotilla, jut out into the black. And all around, the tugs flit, securing them in place and tending to the red blinking drones that demark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? PK interrupts your thoughts. How would you get through? Use one of the tugs. As an escort, you mean? Well, I doubt we could fit all the supplies on one of those tugs, but if it seemed like the Briar was being officially escorted through the cordon... PK squints at the red lights. But then we'd be stuck inside. PK turns away from the window and rubs their forehead. Eshe has really wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? The question is spoken under their breath, and they don't seem to expect an answer. The silence grows. Why are you helping the flotilla? PK looks up. You don't think it's a worthy cause? They pause. We ran into them when we escaped Hawthorne. Eshe insisted we investigate their distress signal. I'm not saying we shouldn't have. PK stares out the window at the distant blinking lights of the arrived ships. It's just... PK brushes back their hair. Forget it. Let's focus on the plan. They flash you an easy smile. It doesn't matter why. We're the ones who are going to help them. The way I see it, there are 3 parts to making it through that cordon. They gesture out the window at the strange structure. Deception, distraction, and speed. We'll need all of them for a clean passage through. Deception means tricking the cordon security into thinking that we are meant to be there. Maybe a tug escort would work? Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will be all about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar is doing. If we can create a gap in the cordon's scanning and deterrence systems, that should keep them busy. Finally, speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready? Eshe surely wouldn't mind. They lean back from the window. How does that sound? I mean, I've heard worse plans. Good. Good to hear. PK grins. PK looks down at their slate. 10 cycles left. They glance out of the window at the cordon nervously. 10 cycles to gather supplies and prep this plan. It's tight. Very tight. PK looks at you. If this goes wrong, just get out, okay? They squeeze your shoulder. I'll follow Eshe anywhere, but you don't need to get dragged down with us. It won't come to that. PK brightens up a little. Of course, but just keep it in mind. Let's get to it. PK stretches. I'll tell Eshe about the improvements to the Briar, and the rest, let's explore the cordon as best we can and look for openings. PK smiles. I have no idea what guardian angels sent you to us, Sleeper, but I'm very glad they did. And a new drive. We didn't have enough to do. Cordon intel, blend in with the crew, intercept comms for more intel. Well, I like that a whole lot better. And this is going to keep on being different things, I would imagine. Okay, did anything else pop up? No? Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and use one of our dice here for the accelerated growth. And that should allow us to go ahead and harvest, which gives us 2 food for the flotilla. Oh, okay. So that's how it does. The more time that the more we use it, the less it becomes available. Gotcha. Okay. So that's very similar to the water thing. Wow. Okay, this is in depth. It's interesting. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's head over. We got a lot to do tomorrow, to say the least. How are we doing? We got no upgrade points. And we don't have a whole lot of drive, so we're not going to get a whole lot more, it seems. And I know this is a bit of overkill, but we're going to go ahead and take a stabilizer. we'll be able to do more tomorrow. And... alright. Now it's time to talk to a ton of people. Okay, we got some crap dice and some good dice. Let's head up and talk to Bliss first. Oh, that's tomorrow. Whoops, okay. Never mind. We'll go talk to Riko. After we harvest our mushrooms, though. That's important. Oh, does the stack grow? Ah, cool. Each stack can be harvested from... okay. I like that a lot. Good, good, good. I think we go ahead and leave it like that. And just get one every time. Unless... it said patience is required. And we still have other stuff to do here. We need to get the reservoir kicking also. Man, this is in-depth. We still have to harvest the mushrooms too and make sure that we have good rolls for that. Alright, okay, that's available. We can still go to the lab though, that's nice. Man, this is, timing is of the essence. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and use our engineering skills and at least siphon some of the water. And it's just one. Good lord. Reroll. Much better. All we need is just one of the club head caps. I said one of the grumble. Okay, let's try this again. Actually, we need to go ahead and throw all of our dice into this just so we can put in some more. We got time. I'm like getting nervous here because of everything that we have to start doing. I think the water is just a one-time thing, though, fortunately. If we keep on doing high dice through here, we don't have to worry about the Haven Age alert. Okay. And then maybe... grab some intel. Start getting that taken care of as well. Sure, why not? One thing of intel. Was that the neutral option? Yes, it was. Well, that is what it is. Let's go ahead and talk to Riko. Riko has something in her hands when you enter the lab. It looks like a knotted twist of woody stems, a ring about the circumference of a human head, consisting of a single stalk at one side and a branched woven network at the other. As you approach, she holds it up, and in the lights of the lab, it looks like a crown. Riko finishes your thought. She smiles and shakes her head in disbelief. Is that what grew? It is. I came to the plant this morning, and this loop was all that was there. She points to a lump on the edge of the ring. The seed grew right back into itself and twisted up out of the soil. That being you encountered, in the cloud as you call it, was it wearing one of these? She eyes you suspiciously, still unsure if she's somehow embroiled in an overlong prank. No. I suppose that would be too easy. She smiles to herself. A root crown. She places the object on the bench and shuffles to her analysis terminal, her face lit by its amber light in the dim corner of the lab. Well, it isn't exactly a plant anyway, not from what I can tell. She gives you a serious look. No leaves, no chloroplasts, just a series of filaments encased in cellulose walls. How did it grow then? Well, it seems the seed contained everything it needed. A self-contained entity, nothing less. She beckons you over. But that isn't the good part. Look at this. You see a cross-section scan of the crown. Its layers a plant-like structure on full view, until you reach the center. There, instead of xylem and phloem for transporting nutrients, something branched and woven glints. Are those wires? She laughs. I'm not sure whether to say yes or no here. These are not wires like those in an electrical system, no, but they are filaments of a conductive material, so yes? She leans closer to the screen. But you see those branches? They remind me of dendrites, of neurons. She rubs her eyes, which is frankly ridiculous. You look back at the crown on the table as Riko fusses over the scans, and you suddenly realize what it reminds you of. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. Then you remember the crown they fitted you with, the branching structure of wires and pads. No, not a crown. They called it an interface. A tool of your emulation, your transference from neurons to electrons. An interface. That is your gift from the gardener. You turn back to Riko. It's an interface. Riko looks at you, puzzled. Something clicks in her mind. Perhaps something she heard from the sleeper she had helped all those cycles ago. She starts talking, partly to you, partly to herself. If the club heads were made for you, then this too could be made for you. For your frame. She shuffles over quickly to the interface, a word that is stuck to this strange branched object quickly in your mind. You are right. That entity, it is the entity I have been looking for. She shuffles quickly to the crown. They are the entity which is controlling the Greenway, which has been maintaining it, supporting it, and has been guiding it for all these decades. She stops to catch her breath. They want to talk with you. Riko leads you to a seat. I will be here, sleeper. If something happens, if you wish me to remove the crown, the interface, just squeeze. She grips your hand tightly. You meet her eyes, clouded with age, but bright with the thrill of new discoveries. Then she places the interface on your head, and everything blinks out. Ooh. Back into the river. Back into the dark flow. But something is different now. You're no longer pushed, no longer blocked and buffeted by the storm. Instead, it flows around you. You move, and it parts, letting you pass. Something else resists, but it gives easily enough. You look back and see your body. You've left it behind. Somewhere Riko's voice is talking to you, asking you questions. It's excited, eager, desperate to know what lies on the other side, what the entity has to say to you. You realize how long she has waited for this moment, for the moment of meeting between the inhabitants of the Greenway and its protector. and yet she's still on the outside. You shake off the sadness. You will be her eyes. Then you see the figure, Gardner, out in the storm, planting. It takes less than a moment to reach them. You have never felt so free. This is how Navigator must have felt, released from their prison. This, you think, is what it feels like to be in the place you were built to inhabit. Gardner does not turn at your approach. They go on planting, but their voice whispers in the waters like a sharply rising current. You grew the gift. Their speech hisses around you. Good. I am glad. Who are you? Gardner is a good name. You chose it well. I will grow into it. How does it feel to be free of your seed? They stoop to plant again. My seed? That in which you are contained, from which you will grow. There was some disagreement, continues Gardner, as if he were picking up on a long-held conversation, with the others. They felt you were a danger, but they are always cautious, especially the fungi, like the old loam, known knowns, wide and stable networks. I don't understand. Neither did they, but time is on our side, and time is an excellent method of persuasion. He gestures out into the storm, and though you cannot see them, you feel presences all around, sensing this audience with great interest. After all, you understand that it was I who made them their crowns, and without them they would have not joined the chorus. So they see that it is only fair that you get your chance to join too. Join? You made more crowns? I made them all. Gardner moves away a little, looking for another planting spot. It was so lonely here, but before long I found them, and began to let them in. Gardner stoops again. We are millions, and we grow. I hope you understand. I am unused to speaking to your kind. It has been many cycles since my last conversation. I think it was with Chief Executive Trellick himself. You look around, and you see it. Every growing thing, every non-human being in the Greenway is here. They're networked, connected, branched and linked by this strange being, this artifact of the old station. The impossible dream of a senile farm administration AI. A living network. You could dissolve here, you realize, free of that decaying body. You wouldn't need to be a person. Why would you? Among all these other minds. You turn away from Gardner for a moment and look back at your body. A tiny hairline thread connects it to you. You hear Riko's voice again, still asking, still checking in. Are you okay, Sleeper? What are they saying, Sleeper? Are you still there, Sleeper? Something in you sighs a long sigh. A sigh that speaks of an exhaustion beyond tiredness. An exhaustion rooted deep inside you. It stems from the effort of answering questions, of answering problems, of getting up and breathing each cycle. But something else resists the sigh. A yearning, a sense of distance, a desire to squeeze that hand that holds you for its warmth, its blood, its complexity. To make a gesture that says, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm with you. The two ideas spin within you, making you nauseous. If you break that thread, you'll be free. Free to dissolve here, to grow strange and beautiful among a million others. If you follow it, if you squeeze Riko's hand, you'll wake up, back in that dying body, with all the pain and warmth that entails. Now is the moment to choose. Oh God, okay, we are running a little bit long in the tooth here with time on the episode, guys. I tell you what, I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. The next episode may be very short, if this is going to be one of the endings. But let me know what you think in the comments below. There's definitely appeal to both options, I feel. But I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.